into our next principle called principle of gauging and acting. What does it say? It says continuously measure and adjust. Continuously measure and adjust. So it's a continuous process. You don't stop. And I even say that gauging and acting might even start at the understanding stage. When you're trying to understand, you still measure how things are going, and you learn and you keep improving. You get to the plan and you're still watching, and you learn and you have a nice plan. You get to performing. Now this one works in concert with performing. So they work in tandem. They go at the same time. So you need to know this. As soon as work starts, gauging commences. Let me say this again. As soon as work starts, gauging commences. So as soon as you start the work, that's when you start to monitor. Gauge. Very, very important.
Right.
Now, gauging is, you could call it measuring, you could call it monitoring. But when you gauge, you need to act. There's a lot to do. So the project manager will have a new name here. And the name I give to the project in my book is called the Project Greek Argos.
Okay.
You know what the Greek Argos? Greek Argos. In Greek mythology, Argos is a giant, a huge giant. Obviously, giant is huge, with 100 eyes.
Wow.
Who was tasked to guard the goddess Hera. So in this era, you need to be an Argos. You need to show your 100 eyes as a project.
Yeah.
Why are we saying we need to know what's actually happening, what's going on.
Right.
So you need to be Argos-eyed. That's English. That's a word. Argos-eyed. It's a proper
Argos-eyed.
word. That's being vigilant.
Right.
Vigilant, basically. So as a project manager,
literally eyes in the back of your head.
that's it. Your eyes should be everywhere, not even back, everywhere. You know, to see what's going on. But how do you do this? You can't be everywhere, can you? It's tough. So what do? You use systems to help you monitor. So in this day and age, you need, so when we talk about some of the methods, you need AIA. So we could use something called information radiator. They give information, real time. Remember we talked about Industry 5.0, the fifth industrial revolution. Now we need to understand automation. We need to understand how to collaborate with even machines, how to use technology to drive things. And we also talk about sustainability in the Industry 5.0. So we need to know how to use these things to help us monitor properly. The softwares will help you do this. Now, when you have a project and things, you have your budget, can you tell how things are going, what will happen to your budget? Or you want to wait till the project is done before you know whether you overrun it or underrun it? Now, let's use the example. We've got your budget as 100,000. There's something we use called CPI, using end value analysis. You have your cost efficiency at 0.98. Your budget is 100,000. Then you are watching till the project gets done before you can know whether you overrun it or underrun it. It should tell you what's happening based on your performance. I'm also a memory trainer, so I'll tell you what will happen to your project if you have CP of 0.98 and your budget is 100,000. I can forecast. I can tell you what could happen. You are likely to go over your budget.
There's even no room there for your contingency.
You're likely to go over your budget by 2040.82.
There's a matrix.
You see, I'm a prophet now.
Yeah.
Because you gave me your budget.
Yeah.
And you gave me you gave me your cost performance index, and I could tell what will happen to you, even though you are not there yet. So I keep saying this one, as a project manager, you need to be a project prophet as well. You need to know what could happen at the end. So gauging, forecasting is part of it.
Right.
So I teach my people to forecast all the time. Look ahead. What could happen at the end? If you don't like the picture, it will make you act.
You'll take decisions.
Take decisions now because you don't like the picture ahead. So you need managers, you need project managers that could forecast. And there are tools that you use to forecast. One of them is the end value analysis. So what I did was using the end value analysis. So I did this. Somebody said, wow, no, I'm using the method to help me do this. I could use AIA to help me do this. I could bring in PMIS. I could bring in MS Project, could even calculate this for me. So you need this to help you get information. But I'll tell you this, when you are gauging, you need to look at every aspect. When you are planning, you're trying to look at every key aspect. Same way, in the same vein, when you are gauging and acting, look at every key aspect, including even your stakeholder engagement, satisfaction, including staff motivation, team bonding. You need to look at all these areas. Resource utilization. How are you utilizing your resource? Are you good? Are you performing poorly? How many do you have? Are you running out?
Is there too much waste?
Too much waste? You check all these things. That's how I say you need to be the Argos, the Greek Argos. You need to know a lot and follow up on a lot.
Keep your eye on the ball.
Keep your eye on the ball. You need to be vigilant. The word is vigilance. You need to be vigilant. Vigilant. So you are looking at your time, checking against the baseline, making sure you are not behind schedule, looking at your cost, looking at your scope, making sure you are doing what you are supposed to do. There are some things walking in. You talked about scope creep the other time. There are things walking in, activities walking in. They are not part of what we are supposed to do. But some people are pushing it. Have you seen it as a project manager? So you need to stand guard at the door of your baselines and watch what goes in. If it's not something that has been approved, reject it. So that is what you do.
And let them see what you see.
Yes.
Because otherwise they make recommendations out of the air.
Yes. So you also need to verify your deliverables. So all the things that you produce, very, very important. You look at it, you verify, you inspect it against their requirement. The customer gave me 5 inch by 4 inches. What have you done? We've done 5 by 6. No, there's a problem. So we we correct it. We do what we call defect repairs. But if you don't inspect, if you don't verify, so there's a difference between verification and validation. Many people use it synonymously, interchangeably. No.
Right.
Verification is you checking for correctness. You want to check whether what you have done is in line with the requirement before you ship it to the customer. So when you send it to the customer will validate. That is getting formal acceptance of what has been done.
Exactly.
So you need to verify and validate it. That's validation. Getting formal acceptance from the customer. But before I validate, I have to verify.
Of course.
So I need to check whether what I have done is in line with what the customer wanted me to do, his requirement. So when I'm taking it for validation, I'm confident.
Because you've checked.
Yes, but some people won't verify. And they will take it, customer will check it, and they are not happy, and they ship it back to you for you to repair them. Sometimes you need to even go over and pick them up. Cost. So if you don't take your time, engage and act properly, you have issues.
And the back of what we're discussing, I was going to say that how can delays in decision making affect project budgets or project timelines? On the back of what we're discussing.
Decision, you need to make them that quick. But the thing is, you need to understand it before you can make a good decision. So you need to work out a process, the decision-making process. When you don't have a strong decision-making process, it slows down decision-making. And don't forget, time is money.
That impacts the project.
Yes, obviously. Because we are looking at speed. We are looking at quality. We have to get something done. We need approval. We need to decide. We need to know where we are cutting. Decision. So what are we cutting? But it's not coming. It's not forthcoming. So everybody is at a standstill.
And time is going. Time is affected.
Yes, it delays, and the customer needs it. So that will basically delay your project. And again, some people, because the decision is not forthcoming, might still go ahead and act.
Exactly.
And it might compromise, jeopardize your quality. So you need to have a process and be quick with it. If you don't have the answer yet, you need to still communicate. Let the people know. Because remember this, when I give you I tell you it'll be done in 30 minutes, and I think it can't be done in 30 minutes. I've already done 20, and I come back to you and tell you, give me 15 minutes more. Do you know what it has done? It starts the whole process again. So it takes away that stress,
Exactly.
So you need to communicate, but make sure you have a system that could help you come up with decision that fast.
Right.
It's very, very important.
Right.